Ever found yourself tangled in the intricate web of securing a TN visa? If your answer is yes, you're not the only one. The process of acquiring a TN visa can often seem daunting, what with its numerous steps, in-depth requirements, and specific terms. But fear not, because in today's discussion, we will methodically dissect this complex procedure and break it down into easily digestible, manageable pieces. Let's delve a little deeper. First things first, what is a TN visa? At the most basic level, a TN visa is a type of non-immigrant visa. It's a document that provides authorization to its holder to remain in the United States temporarily for occupational purposes. But it's not just any non-immigrant visa. It's a visa specifically designed for certain citizens, those of Canada and Mexico. This visa type has its roots in a historic agreement known as the North American Free Trade Agreement, often shortened to NAFTA. This agreement, established in the early 90s, was a monumental step towards fostering economic collaboration between the three major North American countries, Canada, Mexico, and the United States. The TN visa, in essence, is a tangible result of NAFTA. It allows citizens of Canada and Mexico to work in the United States, facilitating a smooth, flexible movement of professionals the borders. The visa is aimed at strengthening economic ties, enhancing cultural exchange, and building a more unified North America. However, not everyone is eligible for a TN visa. Only certain professions, as outlined by NAFTA, qualify for this visa type. These professions span a broad range of fields, from engineering to education and medicine, reflecting the diverse economy of North America. Acquiring a TN visa involves a multi-step process. It requires thorough preparation, careful documentation, and a keen understanding of the visa rules. Every step, from initial application to final approval, is critical and demands meticulous attention. While the process may seem intimidating, it's not insurmountable. With the right guidance, you can navigate through the procedural labyrinth with relative ease. And that's exactly what we're here for. Today, we will guide you through each step, explaining the requirements, outlining the process, and offering helpful tips along the way. Remember, the TN visa is more than just a piece of paper. It's a gateway to new opportunities, a key to unlock your American dream. It's the path that can lead you towards a rewarding career journey in the United States. And while the journey may be tough, the rewards are often worth the effort. So fear not, because no complex procedure is impossible to understand when broken down into manageable pieces. And that's what we're here to do. Together, we'll unwrap the intricacies of the TN visa, making the process as clear and comprehensible as possible. Simply put, a TN visa is a non-immigrant visa that allows citizens of Canada and Mexico to work in the United States under the North American Free Trade Agreement, also known as NAFTA. So how does one secure a TN visa? Well, it's not as difficult or overwhelming as it might seem at first glance if we simply dissect it into manageable, bite-sized steps. Step 1 is all about ensuring eligibility. To be eligible for a TN visa, the applicant must hold citizenship in either Canada or Mexico. It's not enough to just be a resident of these countries. Citizenship is a must. Also, the job that the applicant is seeking in the United States should fall under the NAFTA professionals list. This list is extensive and diverse, ranging from accountants and engineers to teachers and medical professionals. In addition, the prospective position should require a NAFTA professional, meaning that it's a specialized role that specifically demands the skills and qualifications of NAFTA professionals. Step 2 revolves around the collection of all necessary documentation. It's a critical step, as any missing or incorrect documents can lead to the denial of the visa application. This step involves gathering proof of citizenship, which can be a passport or national identity card. The applicant also needs to procure a detailed letter from the prospective employer in the United States. This letter must contain specific details about the job offer, including the nature of the job, the purpose of employment, the applicant's role and responsibilities, and the length of stay. Additionally, proof of qualifications for the job, such as degrees, diplomas, or professional certificates, is also required. These documents demonstrate the applicant's competence and readiness to undertake the job. Step 3 involves the actual application process. For Mexican citizens, an application should be meticulously filled out and submitted to the U.S. Embassy or consulate located in. It's crucial to submit accurate and complete information to avoid any delays or rejections. Canadian citizens, on the other hand, have a slightly different process. They can apply for a TN visa directly at a U.S. port of entry, which can include airports, seaports, or land borders. This step is straightforward, yet it requires attention to detail and adherence to instructions. Step 4 leads us to the interview and approval stage. A U.S. immigration officer, a trained professional who is responsible for reviewing visa applications, will carefully review the application materials and conduct an interview. This interview provides an opportunity for the officer to assess credibility and validity of the information provided by the applicant. It's a crucial part of the process where the applicant can address any concerns or questions the officer might have. If all goes well, approval is granted on the spot, the TN visa is issued, and the applicant can begin planning their new career adventure in the United States. So, as we can see, securing a TN visa may seem complex, but it's not impossible. With careful preparations, accurate documentation, and a clear understanding of the process, one can navigate this journey successfully. If all goes well, approval is granted on the spot and the TN visa is issued. Voiceover. So you might be wondering, what exactly are the professions eligible for a TN visa? Well, let's delve deep into this subject matter. Now, the North American Free Trade Agreement, or NAFTA, as it's more commonly known, has compiled a comprehensive list of professions that are eligible for a TN visa. This list, quite extensive and diverse, covering an array of occupations spanning various sectors and industries. Let's start with some of the more traditional roles, like accountants. Accountants are critical to any business operation, managing the financial records, taxes, and economic strategies of an organization. It's an intricate role that requires a high level of precision and analytical skills. If you're in this field, rest assured, the NAFTA professionals list has you covered. Moving on, we have engineers. This field is broad, housing various specializations such as civil, mechanical, chemical, software, and more. Engineers play a critical role in shaping our world, designing and constructing everything from the devices we use daily to the infrastructures that support our cities. So, if you're an engineer, you're in luck because your profession is included in the professionals list. Next up, we have lawyers. This profession is known for its complexity and high stakes, safeguarding the rule of law and ensuring the legal rights of individuals and are upheld. If this is what you do, it's important to know that your profession is in the NAFTA professionals. Let's look at some less conventional roles. Pharmacists, for example, play a pivotal role in healthcare, dispensing medications prescribed by physicians and providing counsel on dosage and side effects. Scientists, with their relentless pursuit of knowledge and innovation, contribute to the advancement of our society in numerous ways. Teachers, with their noble profession, shape the minds of our future generations. These professions, too, are part of the NAFTA professionals list. And these are just some examples. The list is far from exhaustive, encompassing many more professions, each with its specific eligibility criteria, requirements, and stipulations. The spectrum is wide, covering everything from agronomists to zoologists and all the professions in between. Before you proceed with your application, it's critically important to authenticate whether your occupation finds a place in the NAFTA professionals list. This isn't a step to be overlooked or taken lightly. A thorough check be the determining factor between the acceptance and rejection of your visa application. Remember, this is a crucial step in securing a TN visa. In our upcoming segment, we'll delve into the key considerations, the do's and don'ts, and the essential tips to keep in mind when applying for a TN visa. So stay tuned for more in-depth insight and guidance. Stay tuned. Now, let's recap the key points about securing a TN visa successfully. In order to make the process less daunting, it's essential we break it down to the most fundamental steps. First and foremost, the applicant must eligibility. This is a crucial initial step that involves ensuring that the person applying is indeed a citizen of either Canada or Mexico, the countries whose citizens are eligible for this specific visa. The job for which the person is applying must also fall under the NAFTA professionals list, an exhaustive catalog that defines the kinds of professions that the North American Free Trade Agreement covers. Eligibility is the cornerstone of the application process, but compiling the necessary documentation is what builds a strong case. The second step, therefore, revolves around gathering and organizing all relevant paperwork. This includes tangible proof of citizenship, such as a passport or birth certificate, which is indispensable in establishing the nationality of the applicant. Additionally, a detailed and comprehensive letter from the prospective U.S. employer is required. This letter should outline the nature of the job and why the applicant is deemed suitable for it, should be written in a professional and formal tone, underscoring the importance of the role and the unique qualifications of the candidate. Moreover, proof of job qualifications, like academic degrees, professional certifications, and work experience, are paramount. These documents provide a concrete testament to the applicant's competency and credibility in the chosen field. Next up is the submission of the application. The application process for Mexican citizens involves at the U.S. Embassy or consulate in Mexico, ensuring their paperwork is in the hands of the right authorities. Canadian citizens, on the other hand, have the convenience of applying at a U.S. port of entry, making it easier for those residing close to the border. The fourth step is facing the interview. This is an opportunity for the applicant to reiterate their interest in the job and their commitment to fulfilling its requirements. The interview will be conducted by a U.S. immigration officer who will scrutinize the application, cross-verifying the information provided. It is vitally important to be prepared, composed, and confident during this interview, as it can significantly influence the final decision. Remember, securing a TN visa is not an insurmountable task. With the right preparation and a thorough understanding of the process, it can be a smooth ride. It is a multi-step journey that requires dedication and precision. So, untangle the web of confusion, step confidently into the process, and approach each step with determination and clarity. Your TN visa is within reach.